the only way for us to create that future is to stop looking back, is to stop wishing, hoping, dreaming about something that we could have done. Only by letting that go can we think about that bigger future. This is Lead with Culture. I'm Kate Volman, and this is a mini episode. This is a solo episode you get with just me. Actually, it's kind of like me and Matthew Kelly because I wanted to share a piece of Matthew's book, one of his many books. I felt called to share this message because of conversations that I've been having with a lot of different people over the past few months. And I'm recording this and it's January. It's the start of a new year. So, it's a time where a lot of us do a lot of reflection and thinking about our lives and what we've done in the past and what we want to do in the future. And this is a message that I really love. And it's a chapter that I reference often with clients and friends and even family. All right. So it's from Matthew's book, Life is Messy. And if you haven't read the book, of course, I encourage you to read it. It's a good one, as all his books are. And there's this chapter that I just love the title. It's called Mourning the Life That Could Have Been. Mourning the life that could have been. Oh, it's so good, right? So I just want to read a little bit of this and then share some of my thoughts around this particular message that I think is so important and really helpful for us to move forward in our lives and to fiercely go after our dreams, no matter where you are in life, no matter how old you are or what you've done or haven't done yet, or the circumstances that you're in. This section is so powerful. So he says this: in order to embrace the unexpected life, we need to mourn the life that could have been. Perhaps a dream didn't come true. Perhaps someone you love died. Perhaps you were in an accident, deceived and manipulated by someone you trusted, or got your heart broken. Whatever the cause, the life you hoped and expected to live is gone now, and all that is left is the unexpected life. And then he goes into a little bit of the grieving process and what that's like and some of the things that are involved in that. Then he comes to this section called the past. And he writes, during times of turmoil, we may feel like we are being pulled in two directions, into the past and toward the future. Don't fear the past. You are not what has happened to you. You are not what you have accomplished. You are not even who you are today or what you have become so far. You are also who and what you are still capable of becoming. You are your realized and unrealized potential. God sees you and all your potential, and He aches to see you embrace your best, truest, highest self. He yearns to help you and to accompany you in that quest. Don't let your past define you. It may be helpful to glance in the rearview mirror from time to time, but if you keep your gaze there for too long, you will crash. Allow the past to serve you. Don't let it rob you of your now. Don't let it steal your future. Delve into it occasionally to learn more about yourself, but avoid lingering there for too long. If you sense you may be lingering in the past in an unhealthy way, ask yourself, how is this serving me? Okay, so that is from Matthew Kelly's book, Life is Messy. And I love this section so much because it's an invitation for us to let go of our past, to know and believe that we have a better future ahead of us. But the only way for us to create that future is to stop looking back, is to stop wishing, hoping, dreaming about something that we could have done or should have done or wish we would have done, or if only, because we didn't do those things. I believe that the decisions that we make in our lives, we made them with the best of intention at the time, with the information that we had and the resources we had available to us and the knowledge we had. It's so cliche, but true. Hindsight is 2020. How many of us have looked in the past and thought, oh my gosh, if only I could go back and do that again, we would have made different choices. But that's who we are today, not who we were back then. So the choice that we made back then was the choice that was right for that particular version of us in the past. And so we have to let that go. Only by letting that go can we think about that bigger future. This is why our dreams are so powerful. Our dreams push us towards a bigger, better future for ourselves. Our dreams are what gets us through the messy middle. Going back to the title, Life is Messy. Life is messy. And it often doesn't turn out the way that we thought it would. We get to decide how we're going to show up every day and what we're going to focus our time and attention on and what we're going to create in our life. And we get to do that every day. And we only can do that when we let go of the past. This reminds me of stoicism in the sense that we put good and bad to the things that happen in our lives. When something happens to us, we place whether that was a good thing or a bad thing that happened, when really in stoicism, it just happens. It just is. It's just a fact. And then we get to decide how we're going to move forward once that thing happens. And so we don't give it this good or bad or negative or positive connotation. It's just a fact of life. And then we get to decide how we're going to respond to it. So we oftentimes have a lot more control over our lives than we think we do. But it's such a mindset thing. And so this is helpful when we think about moving forward to pursue our dreams is that, hey, like I love that Matthew says, like, you are not your mistakes. You're also not your accomplishments. So here's an activity. Think about something in your life. What is something that you have just had a hard time letting go of? A decision that you made years ago? Maybe it was in a relationship. Maybe it was in a job that you took or didn't take. It's so easy for us to glamorize the path we didn't take. We think, oh, if only I would have done X, if I would have taken that job, if I would have married this person or not broken up with this person, right? We glamorize how that life would have gone, but we have no idea how that life would have gone. We don't know if it would have been better or worse or the same. Would we be any happier, less happy? This is why we love when we read things that say, oh, happiness comes from within. It comes from within because we get to decide how we are going to show up in our lives. And are we going to show up with gratitude, with all of the experiences that we've had, and we get to say, hey, I'm going to take everything that I've learned, everything I've discovered, everything I've experienced, good, bad, ugly, all the things, and then take that into my next experience, personally, professionally, in all the different areas of life. We get to grow. That is what we are here for. We are here to become the best version of ourselves. And we can only do that when we let go of the past. And so here's the activity. Think about something that you need to let go of. What is the one thing that you need to let go of? That if you could let go of this one past experience, this one past regret, something that you still kind of beat yourself up over, let it go. What can you do to just let that go, to mourn the life that could have been, make peace with it, and move forward? And so that is a journaling activity. That is a really great writing activity. And if you're not a journaler, you don't want to write it down, then that's okay. I would challenge you on that. I think journaling is such a powerful tool to help us get all those thoughts out of our head and onto the page and really reveal some fascinating thoughts, maybe some things deep down that we might not want to tell anyone else. But when we get it out on paper, it just releases some of the power and control it has over us internally. And so I would challenge you to journal that. What do you need to let go of? And if it's not journaling for you, then maybe talk it out or meditate it or something, but think about it, think through it, and really give yourself permission to just mourn it. Thank you. You served me in some way, and I am moving on and I am heading towards my better future. And once you do that, once you journal and you think about what it is that you need to let go of, this is also a great opportunity for you to take out your dream list. The dream list that we all should have, that list of 100 dreams, and then focus on that. Let go of all the things that could have been, and then focus on all the things that still can be. that you still can be and do and become. That is what we get to focus on. So that is a challenge for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you can't hear it in my voice, I'm very passionate about this topic. I told Matthew one day, I said, man, that chapter is so important and it just really hits the way that he wrote it, which, that's what Matthew does. He takes these really powerful ideas and just simplifies them so much that kind of hits us in the gut sometimes, So I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't yet read Life is Messy, I encourage you to add that to your reading list. And again, thank you so much for listening to the episode. We hope that you're loving Lead with Culture. If you have not yet written a review, we would love for you to write a review over on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. It really does help the show. We're trying to help as many leaders as possible to build great cultures and become the best version of themselves so their organizations can become the best version of themselves. And so we would so appreciate you helping to share the message of this podcast. We appreciate you. And until next time, Lead with Culture.